Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. In this video you will learn about having your aha moment. There's a lot of different parts to how this can be played out, and a lot of different genres also. You might hear the aha moment through circles like obviously personal growth and personal development and even in business circles and stuff, right? You can kind of dwell it down to other genres also. Like you might hear the term rock bottom, and that really has to do with more addiction type of circumstances that come across, especially for those of us that have experienced family members or close friends that have addiction issues, and they just, they you want them to go get help, but they don't know, they don't think that they have a problem. And for those of us that haven't gone through that experience, we kind of have deemed certain terms like rock bottom or aha moment. Really what it comes down to is having an epiphany of the circumstance that you're in, and that epiphany really drives your absolute desire and pushes your why into creating that change that you might really need, in order to kind of survive. And by having these experiences and having these realizations really helps focus you intensely, like laser focusing you on what the next step should be. And you may not know what that is if you haven't experienced this. It might only be a matter of time till you really are tired of being really sick and tired of what you're going through, and maybe even just being sick. You're tired of being sick, So these aha moments, or these rock bottom moments, or these epiphanies really are your internal being and your internal energy and everything saying that I need change. You have to do this for yourself now. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or cares, you're doing this for yourself. And that's where a lot of the pieces to the puzzle that I talk about in earlier videos really start to come into play. Having this epiphany moment, this aha moment, really is kind of the first little inkling and glimpse that goes on with your ego or with your psyche that is telling you that this needs to happen now. I am tired of how things are going, and I need the change now, and I want the change now. The steps that you take afterward are really what's crucial to creating the life that you really want, and a life filled with peace also. By realizing this, you are now entered into this new challenge of like, okay, what are the tools that I need to start down this path of being a better person, being a better me, and doing better, not only for your community, for your family, but just for yourself. And having these moments, and believe me, there's many of these that happen. I've had so many aha moments and epiphanies that have led me to this point that I've learned to start paying attention to them and start really making decisions that will help me get closer and closer and closer to that goal that has kind of driven the epiphany or the aha moment. I think it's important to realize that this journey, for me personally, this journey that I've been on has been ongoing, for the last 8 years. This is something that has been slowly growing and creating and morphing into kind of what you're seeing now. And for me, I keep having epiphanies and aha moments of like, how do I kind of put this together? And between who I feel are my mentors and who I feel are really key people in my life are the ones that are the most supportive of what I'm trying to do, and have also given me a little bit of insight into the next step, into the next direction that I need to do and take to get to there and get to that point that gets me closer to my goal. And that is why it all started really for me with that epiphany or that aha moment, like, I don't like this road anymore, you know. And for me, the big aha moment, the big epiphany, was my diagnosis, and from there was just the buildup of everything that went through all the treatment, and then after treatment was where I really had to start implementing the stuff that I was teaching myself to start working on after all the cancer stuff. Because at the end of the day, I was going through a lot of turmoil mentally with everything that I had been through in my life, and I needed to work through that, and I couldn't have done it without help. And I mean that through, like, you know, counseling sessions and, you know, talking with friends and my family support. Like, it wasn't just like I wake up and I'm all good to go, you know. It was a process, and it was the best process that I could have ever gone through, but I recognized it, and having that aha moment and that epiphany really is what started me down the course and made it work for me, you know. So how can you know, I don't want to say give yourself your own epiphany or your own aha moment. This is where you got to start digging deep into where you're at now. These are why you have to ask the questions of why I am at where I'm at, and what do I want to do with my life, and really get into what I call the 4 W's, which is what I talk about in my book, Internal Architect. And you can start figuring these things out, and then when you start adding them to forgiveness, things start to open up. You start relieving that stress off your shoulders, and everything that has come with the stress and the baggage that comes along with it. So from there, it's a little bit of a snowball effect, you know, and you just slowly keep working on keeping that momentum moving forward, and keep moving in the direction where you really want to go, you know. So I can't snap my fingers and tell you that this is your aha moment now, or this is your epiphany now. This is something that you have to find yourself, and you have to want. And you have to really want at a really, really deep level the change and the desire to start creating that life filled with peace, and that life with balance, and feeling like the integrity that you want, and maybe even so desire. So, you know, keep those things in mind. But remember that everyone, when you start feeling really anxious and depressed and frustrated with where you're at, is when those moments will start to pop up, and start to recognize that I don't like this, and I don't like how I feel this way, and I don't want to feel this way anymore. And that's when the magic starts to happen. So, you know, keep in mind that is what it is, and just try to recognize that when those situations occur, that to pay attention to them, and start like taking them and using them as your motivation to really start down that path of conscious development. So hope you like what you're hearing here. If you like it, you know, hit subscribe on the button below, and if you have any comments or questions, hit me in that section also below, and you know, I'll respond to them as soon as I can. And you know, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your energy into watching the videos, and I really, really look forward to seeing you on the next video.